Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good. How are you?
Hi, Victoria. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh my. I guess we have a group in common, you and I.
One of the fruit groups.
Yeah, fruit groups or vegan groups or something, right? Raw stuff,
Right.
raw stuff, right?
Right.
So we've just bumped into each other there on a post that I didn't make, somebody else made. I just commented on it and we got connected that way. And that's just how we've found each other. And I thought, great, I've made contact with someone who has a success story that I think is important to share that I'd love to find out about. I'd love to learn about it. I'd love to hear about it. And I'd love to share what you're doing because I know that you did it. Something similar to me because I know you're on the fruity vegetable page. So
Right.
So we must have some things in common here, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh, definitely. I agree.
Awesome, awesome. Let's share, please. What happened to you? How did you lose this weight? Tell me, how much weight did you lose?
I lost 120 pounds.
Amazing.
So I started at 248 and then I lost 120 pounds.
Oh my gosh. And Victoria, how old are you?
I am 48.
Oh, so listen, a lot of people think they can't do it over 40. They can't, their metabolism's slowing down. They're getting old. The aches and pains, they're just gaining weight. Their metabolism's slowing down. Well, what do you have to say about that, please, Victoria?
I say anytime that you choose to start is the right time. That's what I say. And you can claim health in your 70s if you desire to change to claim it. So
awesome. I think so too. It's just whenever you make up your mind.
Right.
It's like you just get fed up. Like, fuck all of this shit and what I've been hearing and what everyone's saying. And it's like, no. I'm gonna listen to me and I'm gonna follow me.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Your intuition, follow your inner voice, and that's what got me started. Actually, I didn't have a connection with people when I started. I had to listen inside, and that's how I did it. Then when I started listening to people, it got all messed up. So I had to get back to my inner voice.
So you didn't have an inner voice at the start?
I did, even though at that time in my life, I wasn't even where I understood what an inner voice was. But all I knew was when I would spend the day eating only fruit, I wouldn't have to spend the day in bed. And if I ate even one thing that wasn't fruit, I was so sick at that time. My body was so sick that I would have to go to bed.
Yeah.
And so I decided, do I want to spend my life in bed or not? I know I have a choice. And I even thought maybe I was malnourishing myself because I didn't know. And obviously
something maybe was wrong, or there, you don't even know what to think, but you know that this is working.
Right, exactly. Right.
So you found a way, and that's all you know at the start. Like, you can't even explain it to anybody. You can't even, everyone's saying you're crazy and telling you're doing the wrong thing, but you're doing what you know is right for you.
Right. It's been 14 years and my family still thinks I'm on some crazy phase, and I'll get over it. So
14 years you've been in it.
14 years. And I have experimented over the 14 years. I haven't been 100% the whole time.
No.
I experimented with things, and I always come back to fruit because that's what works. So.
And I say mostly fruit. I tell people that, it doesn't have to be all one way or the other way. I say it needs to be mostly fruit most of the time. But you can put other things in there too. It depends how broken you are. If you're very broken, then you got to go way over here. And if you're just a little bit broken, you can go a little bit.
Exactly. Yes. Right. And I find I do best on all fruit, and I do steamed veggies. I make vegetable soup with collards and mushrooms and green beans or whatever, and I still feel just as good. But if I add in grains, if I add in fats, oils, any of that, it's downhill fast. I go down fast.
Yeah, you can get away with a meal or two. You can get away with a holiday, but then after, if you keep it going, you just feel yourself bogging down, getting heavier again. All of the same old stuff feels like it's kind of coming back on top of you again.
Right, right. And even now, 14 years, 3 days of not eating right, I'm in bed again, and I can't get out of bed. So I find that a blessing because it keeps me on track.
So it's like becoming this new inside of you becomes your master.
Right. And that is our master. Yes. We all have that in us. We all have that inner guidance. Nobody doesn't.
If we grow it.
Well, even if we don't grow it, we still we're unconscious of it, but it's still there.
It's still there, but it's so bogged down and muffled up by all of the kind of stuff that's blocking here that you can't really hear it or understand it.
Well, you
ignore it
because you're not at a place where you can acknowledge it. And I know I was there for years, and I was just a victim of life. I didn't have choice.
You thought so.
I thought I didn't have choice. Yes.
Yes. You didn't see what choice you could have.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You didn't see that you actually had control and you were giving it away.
Right. I didn't see any of that. Right.
So your awareness of that grew as you moved in this direction.
Definitely. And it's, when I changed my diet to a fruit diet, then because I'd been diagnosed with mental illness, schizophrenia was the most severe diagnosis that I had, but whatever doctor I went to was a different one. Bipolar, severe depression,
whatever the doctor decides.
Yes, right.
And he's the professional, and he knows you, and he knows what you have.
But the thing is, my mind was always like in a fog, and I didn't have any clarity. And so when I changed my diet, then I was told I'd be medicated my whole life, and I believed him. And so when I changed my diet, it was for my health, not my mind. But I gained mental clarity, and I thought, wow, and with the mental clarity, then I could work on my inner self. Then I could do the spiritual and emotional growth.
Whoa, spiritual and emotional growth came next.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And who knew? Like, you never got into it to get into spiritual and emotional growth.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's not why you started.
No. And
it wasn't your intention to do that.
I didn't even care about any of that.
Right. but it made you.
Right. Well, once I had the mental clarity, then I was like, I had access to that. And so then I was able to, challenge myself in ways of, like, it all started with doing 30-day challenges of facing my fears. And I was very antisocial, very recluse, very scared of people. So one of the challenges I did was to introduce myself to 3 people a day for 30 days. And it terrified me. But about halfway through, I realized people really like it when you show interest in them. People really like it when you ask questions about their lives and their families and their whatever,
And make yourself available to listen.
Right. And then the fear was gone. And so these fears would come up, and I started, facing my fears, doing a challenge to face my fears. And then, so I did that for a few years. And then I started doing gratitudes, daily gratitudes, being grateful, and especially being grateful for what I wasn't grateful for. And
So
the big,
even accepting the things that weren't right yet.
yes, right. And so,
Acceptance of things as they are kind of right now. Like they're not maybe where I want them, but like I'm grateful that I have that. Like, oh my gosh.
right, right, exactly. Yes, yeah. And
Just
grateful
shifting your
for
perspective. Just a
whatever.
perspective.
If I
Yeah.
didn't like somebody, I would say I'm grateful for that person.
For
And even though I believe
forgiving
it,
your enemies. Forgiving your
yeah,
enemies. Yes, forgiveness.
yes, exactly, yes. And so then it's just progressed. And I continue, like, there's no end to the amount of expansion I can experience spiritually and emotionally. So, I'm always reaching for the next. There's no limit to the amount of joy I can experience. I'm
There's
reaching
no limit.
you know
What? You're boundless?
exactly,
Oh
yeah.
my God. Oh.
You're such a character. You're great.
Wow. I found it. I found her.
Right. And there's no top. You never reach it. You never reach whatever.
Just
It's
growing and growing and growing and growing.
always growing and always expanding. Yes.
Nice. This is the thing. So this is the thing is you can't focus outward at what's going on around, because if you focus around, then you're going to get distracted and get caught up in the hoopla. What you
Right.
need to do is not focus on the outside, but to focus in.
Yes. Exactly.
Grow the inside. Grow your own decision. Like just make a decision in your own mind about what you want to do for you.
Exactly. Right.
Grow
And
that. Grow that.
when you love, you can't love other people if you don't love yourself, because you don't understand what love is. And the same for everything. You can't have peaceful interactions with people if you don't have peace within yourself, and because you don't know what it is unless you know it in yourself. So
Oh my gosh.
that's my experience.
I agree. I tell people that, we've all got like a mother and father within us, a masculine and feminine bit. And
Yes.
We've got this division within us, this dichotomy that needs to be brought to settle and peace and neutral. And I tell people that just happens with the breath. Like the breath just like allows the left and the right brain to be, like the mom and the dad within you to like come to peace and harmony. Like just breathe. Just
Right.
just breathe in it.
Yes, definitely. Breath and meditation. Meditation's been a big life-changing thing for me. The fruit started it, and then it's like I just keep getting these life-changing experiences, and I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm wide awake and I'm excited to meditate every day because I get so much out of it.
So this is the thing. People get afraid. Like you start talking about this spirit and stuff. Oh, it's a cult. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do any of that. So they get afraid because of that. You start talking about meditation. People say, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
Eat fruit. Oh my gosh, it's got sugar in it. Oh my gosh, it's going to raise your blood sugar. You can't eat fruit, it'll make you fat. Like, oh my gosh, don't drink your calories. That's what everyone thinks. So they stay away from the raw foods and the raw juices.
Right. Yes. Yeah, people have this sugar fear.
Right. They've made the sugar fear, and then they've roped up the fruit in the sugar fear. But what you don't, if you want to check it out, if you really want to do some research, check it out. Like they'll tell you to choose low glycemic foods. Like do some research into that. Find out what the most low glycemic food is. It's fructose.
Right.
It's fruit sugar. That is the most low glycemic food.
And I have friends that have switched to a fruit diet and not even all the way, just mostly. And the diabetics for years, type 2 diabetics for years, and no longer need insulin. And it's awesome to watch. It's great to watch. Yeah.
People can transform their life. They can lose weight. They can heal their sickness, illness, disease. They can fix their pain. They can make more money. They can fall in love again with themselves and with their partners and with their families and with their lives.
Right, right. And when your body feels good, it's so much easier to spread that love because you feel good. And when you feel good, you love yourself because you love the way you're feeling. And it's just radiates out. I mean, I notice the difference in myself. It's a huge difference of when I'm conscious and on track and when I'm unconscious and not on track and putting not ideal foods in my body, not ideal.
If you missed your meditation in the morning, you slept in or whatever, something happened, you ate the wrong thing, you slept, something went wrong, and you get off track, you miss your routine, and then you get all out of sorts, and you're like, fuck, I don't like doing this.
All when I'm in that state, I'm radiating a big old ball of misery. That's what I'm radiating.
That's all I am too. That's the same. I didn't get my time to be me today. I didn't get my time to get myself, all my ducks in a row today, and all my shit was falling apart because of it. So it's just not worth it to live like that. You're bouncing around like a pinball, going here, going there, and you're just like, you know, you're never going to create the life of your dreams that way. Like you can live that way and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not calling anybody out as being good or bad or right or wrong. But what I would say is that you can just, you know, kind of do what you feel, do what you feel, do what you feel, do what you feel. But basically we feel kind of exactly the way of kind of what we've been doing. Like if that's what we've been doing, that's what we feel like doing. So if you've been doing nothing, you're going to keep on doing nothing. And that's exactly where you're going to end up. Like, unless you start doing something first that you don't like, and then you start practicing that, then you'll start to feel like it after a while. But you're going to have to just practice it for the first bit until it catches a fire inside of you.
Right. Right. Yes. And even if I do go unconscious and do things that I knowingly are not ideal, you know, it's like I'll be in misery, but I know I don't have to be, and I know I can be conscious now in this moment. And I actually think of those as blessings and reminders. You know, it's okay. I'm a human. It's okay for me to.
Okay, I don't have to be perfect. I can accept my imperfection because human is imperfection. We make mistakes. Like we're like 10%, we kind of screw it up, you know?
Yeah, and it's like I'm okay with that. Instead of, you know, I used to get down on myself. What's wrong with you?
Thank you. Thank you. I still need to learn this one. Thank you. Thank you. I'm learning this one. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And instead, I love my unconsciousness. Thank you for being unconscious because it reminded me how good it is when I am conscious, you know? And so.
And now please tell everyone, because I know in order for us to talk today, you had to make a trip into town because I think you're living somewhere kind of
not off grid yet.
But you're working that way.
I live in Central Texas out in the woods, and I am working toward off grid. Yes.
You're working towards creating your own kind of like pavilion of your own creation, controlling your energy in your own space.
Yes, I'm out in the woods on 60 acres in Central Texas and
around nature in the woods.
And it's all nature, all wooded area. It's actually a wildlife preserve.
Oh my gosh.
And so, planting fruit trees. And
I'm about 7-8 years into this. I'm going this way for a while. I've got some time to catch up. I really appreciate this time with you, Victoria. I don't want to keep you too long. Plus, I don't want to keep our callers too long. I'd love to keep this to be short and brief if we can. I love that we've made this relationship today. I would love to meet again and maybe talk again some more, and we could talk about some different topics another time. Maybe we can meet every once in a while and share, and maybe you could.
Yeah.
Please tell everyone if they, how they could reach you or talk to you, or how could they follow you, or.
Okay. Well, and I also do mental health coaching, and so
how could they reach you to do that?
Well, I have a website, embracingyourjoy.com, and you could also access it by typing in Crazy Banana Lady. because that was the original name. Because that's what they called me at the store. But
The Crazy Banana Lady, that's what you started off as.
yeah, if you type that in, Crazy Banana Lady, in the internet, I will pop up.
And what have you trying to transition to now? What are you calling it?
Embracing Your Joy is what it's called.
Embracing Your Joy. I'm calling it self-love and self-care.
Yes. And so you can look embracingyourjoy.com, embracingyourjoy@gmail. And I'm also on Facebook, Victoria Everett.
Please share on my page. Please put your links on my page. Please link with me. Please
Okay,
keep in touch with me. Please, let's connect. Let's interact. Let's share.
Wonderful. Very good. Thank you, John.
Nice to meet you so much.
Very good.
Awesome.
Okay.
See you again real soon, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye.